Alright, I gotta fight this Asian guy. Where is that? I don't really know if it's an Asian guy, and I'm gonna get out of first person view. Alright, there we go. So, I realize that first person view isn't that bad, because it's still just a video game, and it's all rendered colors and stuff like that, so. I just had a phobia of going to first person view because I felt like it was more, I guess not really a phobia, but more like it's just like a hesitantness to go in a first person view because, I don't know, it kind of insinuates more of a violent tone. And I know I am aware that it is just a video game. I'm also aware of undertones and overtones of violence and certain things. And the way that I want to portray myself is probably not.
Hey, move, fool!
We have a visual. Moving in.
Son of a bitch. It's supposed to be, man. Wasn't supposed to be on fire when I used it. Cool. Angelina Jolie went to the UN Peace Conference. It's awesome. So, talking about where we get our media from and how we get our media from different places and different people. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm gonna cheat on this phone. Alright, let's go. Get it. Calm down, Bo. You can stay wet. Oh, that's right, you can't stay wet that much. Okay. Because you don't sweat. You don't need a cooling system. I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna do something different. There we go. Here we go. God damn it. The rock that I always misinterpret as a ramp. But it does it on purpose. It does that thing on purpose, and then... Yep. That's what it does. That's how it does it. Does it. And it does it for the thing. So think about where your media comes from. Think about what kind of independence you will be able to see through, or be able to see to, or a I don't know, with everyone trying to go with symbolism and things like that as far as foreign nationalists and different things go, realize that there is always room for error and there is room for fabrication. Things have to be definitely, I'm gonna knock off this ammunition. It's gonna be tight. See if I can actually drive into the doors. But that's what I'm gonna do. And I probably can. Let's go here. And we're gonna jump on the car. Got him. Alright. Now I'm gonna just open the doors that I just did. That was a really good idea, actually. I'm gonna do that more often, and I'm just gonna open the doors up, and then I'm gonna shoot into the building, because he'll fold his arms until you actually get through the doors, so, or until your first shot is shot. So I'm gonna do that from now on.
Citizens reporting shots fired on Great Ocean Highway in Paleto Bay.
Son of a bitch ass cash register. No, sorry. Did not blame the cash register. I merely just thought the cash register was being a bit of a douche. for not moving around while I was moving around my reticle on the but yeah, thinking about where you get your media from, thinking about where you get anything from is a very, very big thing. Because sometimes, if you live in a different country, or if you live in a different place, realize that there are certain monopolies on some things, and whether it's from the government's point of view, or whether it's from anything's point of view, I guess without endangering anyone, I guess if there is like without endangering anyone's well-being, I guess you should be able to get through your stuff through many different kinds of people, I guess. Because the way that ideas form, and the way that ideas the way that people get their ideas from places that they either believe in, that they either think are a better place to get their ideas from. There we go. Got it back in. Understand that when you start to flourish as far as media consuming goes, and I guess that I'm kind of flourishing as far as media consuming is going, and I want to see the world through a certain lens. But that certain lens doesn't always see everything, and that's the point that I was making earlier about where we get our stuff from, or our reactionary emotions, or the way we fixate on one thing without actually seeing the entire picture. Or even just seeing the entire picture, but only fixating on one detail, or learning one detail about that entire picture, and learning every detail about that one detail. So, understanding that there is a huge picture of details that your brain takes in constantly, and the amount of ability to be able to think that only one, I'd say, aspect of that detail, or one aspect of those details is something that you could and yes, I know they're right there. Keep going. Son of a bitch, he's got me on his sights. He got me on his sights. Come on. There we go. Awesome. Gotta use diversions and friggin' stuff like that. And oh my god, that was terrible.
Northbound in northern Fort
Alright, we're gonna go in. We're gonna go steer him in a car. We're gonna see if there's anything available here, and we're gonna keep concentrating, and hopefully a tank doesn't jump out on us. That would be fucking insane, but awesome at the same time, and we'd probably die. But yeah, there he is. Something happened, but I have to go, and god damn it. But yes, realizing where you get your media from is while somebody says certain things that are certain ways in certain ways, but understandably so, we only get our media from one one certain kind of at the time. There's certain subsidiaries, but understandably so too, is what people don't understand is it's not exactly it's not exactly one company, but in the same sense it actually looks pretty bad. But understandably so, I mean, we have to keep up looks for other countries because they have one thing as well. Sometimes. Only one media office, actually. Or say for instance, and also too, I really don't understand the whole media thing of I don't get stuff sometimes. It's like people want something to be over with, and it's like it's not over with, and it's not just because it's not acknowledged in society doesn't mean that it's not in society. It's just the people who are the majority or even the minority sometimes are pushed down, I guess, in a certain sense, but understandably so. Even when getting your media in a certain form, you have to understand that, like, I don't know, I get so many different opinions in my head running through this kind of different stuff, and I see also too that those opinions sort of I say cluster up and start fighting each other sometimes, because I am schizoaffective, I guess, but understandably so, they don't really fighting each other as much as I'm trying to be able to make a single thought without conflicting. I guess it's like it's not like it's like, oh, I'm a stupid American or something like that, but no, it's not that. It's more over it's more I want more truth. If people are like, oh my God, you don't know, then what the fuck don't I know? Sort of thing, you know? It's like what don't I know? It's like, what am I not in on? You know? It's like, and that always makes me feel like and it has nothing to do with a certain ideology, I think, to be in a certain bracket of thinking, but also too, I think that, I mean, like, because everyone can actually see where I'd say where they would say like oh, like if you looked at something as like a reflection, like I saw earlier, there was a dude who thought that the entire Bible was the way that we used to communicate and interact with aliens. I don't know. I have no idea, because it's not based on fact for the most part. But in the same sense, it could be based on a fact that they were hiding, I guess, that they were hiding about something. I don't know. You never know. It could be something cool. But understandably so. I mean, realizing that that there are more awesome. Okay. There are more ways to be able to be a certain kind of media grabber or media consumer. It's only because it's extremely dry right now, and I recently had something hot in my mouth, or really cold in my mouth, so. Oh, it's dry, and that sucks. But understanding that that the way your media is consumed and the way people start to see where, I guess, fact and fabricated can start to blur the line of, like, people can really can really cause some damage. You know, it's like whenever I realized back when I used to watch G4 that whenever they saw, like, I really saw the news story that kind of they basically made up, or not basically made up, but they were completely mistaken on.
Citizens report a Grand Theft
And maybe their
Auto
sources were just terrible, or maybe the man giving the information to the people who were reading it thought that it would be something that kids would just be like, oh my God, there's a new event, and now we gotta be a part of it, or something like that, saying that that someone didn't like video games, and that would cause more kids to be, I guess, more I'd say basic, and not like fully surrounded by technology all the time. But understanding that that being fully surrounded by technology is a good thing sometimes, is a really good thing most of the time. But understanding that, but also understanding that that being able to turn yourself off, dial it back a notch, is actually a good thing. But remember to stay connected, and realize that eventually, I really am. I'm so afraid sometimes. I'm afraid that there are just so many serial killers out there. They're just waiting, and they're like, "Hey, put your phone away. Hey, put your phone away." It's like, and I'm not nearly on my phone as much as people might think, and it's not really that much of an obsession. More of an avid
Suspect northbound in a black sedan.
avid going in a certain direction, you know? Because I like the way that this stuff makes me do things, and makes me do things. That this stuff makes me do things, and I'm gonna jump! Oh my God, no, that's terrible. Awesome. I went right before it was actually deep enough for me to jump into the water, and that's probably the reason why that thing was right there. But most of the time, I see through the most bullshit that there really is, and I've seen that people can villainize a lot of stuff, not realizing that some people just don't know what the fuck they're doing. And when people don't realize that sometimes people who they find completely and utterly just, oh my God, mind-blowingly responsible, they're pretty fucking irresponsible. It's like every other president got a D. And it just so happens when one gets an F, you're like, oh my God, it's so terrible. It's like, yeah, all of them, from Bill Clinton on, from actually Bush Sr. on, and actually even before that was probably, before I was even born, Nixon, and all that other different stuff, and me being a kid, not even realizing that there was a president. Yeah, they all got D's. All of them. They all got D's as far as being a president. One gets an F, and you're like, oh my God, it's terrible. Everything's so terrible. It's like, what the fuck? Wake the fuck up and see that all of them have been fucking subpar since Bush Sr. Since fucking Nixon. Since any of them. It's just, I don't get it, dude. It's like, that's the reason why I constantly change up my media. I constantly change up where I'm getting my media from, because everyone's telling a half-truth, or everyone's just telling a full truth, and leaving out one detail that kind of changes the story a little bit, or changes the story a lot. And if those people change those pieces a little bit, imagine what they'll do if they just want you to keep watching. I'm not saying that oh, you need to rise against or rise up or something like that. I'm just saying that why do you think that even people just constantly watch the news even though there's nothing happening? or constantly watch a camera, and they're like, wow, they recorded it, and then when they recorded this camera, this happened, and it's like, what? Oh my God, stuff happens every day. It's like, yes, it's true. It's like everyone's trying to figure out whether or not their world is real or not. But understanding that you have to know that there is, it's like everyone's obsession with media is unhealthy in the sense that it's not based in the fact that you're trying to find out the facts. It's like, it's more like you're trying to find out whether or not, oh, that thing did that thing that you wanted it to do. It's like, you know, be a better, healthier consumer, and you'll be more emotionally stable in some cases. And in some cases, sometimes I've seen doctors that have had like serious problems sometimes. Like I've heard quotes saying that, oh, you know what, being a doctor is like sending an experiment off and just watching it and seeing what it will do. And it's like, no, that's stupid. It's like, hey, I'm gonna like this match on this fuse. I don't know what it goes to, but I'm gonna see what it does. It's like, you know, there's like a 60% chance or a 70 to 80% chance that's probably attached to some sort of explosive. Whether or not that explosive is big enough to actually blow you up is probably remains to be seen. But it isn't an explosive at the same time that it's not an explosive.
Man, fuck this shit.
Wait, what? Oh.
Shit.
Okay. Yep, probably. But
Hey, come on, move!
the more we try to realize the truth in some certain ways, the more we realize that truth becomes apparent to us. But in the same sense, realize that it took so much research to be able to be a certain way, and it took so much stuff to be able to do certain things all the time, and like this, running TVs all the time, or saying certain things all the time, or controlling a society sometimes, even so, saying, oh, you only get certain, like 2 hours of TV or 2 hours or something like that. It's like, things should be regulated sometimes as far as kids go. They should realize that there are certain other worlds out there, or there are certain other reasons for existing out there, but though we are trying to behave in a certain way, some places don't want to, and I think that we sometimes try to think that just because there's a peaceful protest or a peaceful anything out there, that everything's peaceful, and you would like to think that way, but I know that it's not. I know that, and as an American citizen, I know that things are fucked up sometimes, but people don't understand that there are so many things and so many ways to do things in a certain way to make things fuck up, to see where they'll fuck up or see how they'll fuck up. But understandably so, that's the reason why we have our government the way it is sometimes. It's the reason why when there's a Republican president, there's usually a Democratic Senate. And people change sides all the time. Like, they register as whatever they want to register for, and they do whatever the hell they want to do. And that's the reason why. Some people don't see it all the time. They don't know it. But they don't understand sometimes that there's bad people out there that do terrible things in order to be able to look good and to be able to make themselves look good. And just because I killed like 20 people earlier that day, it doesn't mean that I can't go to a press conference and say that everything's fine. No, it really doesn't work that way. And people are trying to make sure that those things don't, like, those people don't get to make those press conferences, or don't make press conferences. So whenever you're trying to be able to understand where your media comes from, realize that eventually everything is owned by one person, or one thing, or one subsidiary, or one anything. But understandably so, as soon as they make their money to be able to say that, oh my God, I worked as a monopoly, it doesn't work for long. And that's the reason why our government is the way it is. That's the reason why people are the way they are sometimes. That's the reason why people get their news from different areas and different places. So that if they understand and if they realize that news itself is corrupt in some way, shape, or form, they can be like, oh, cool, I can just go to this different channel now. It's like, yeah, that's it. But in the way that it affects people emotionally, it kind of, people think that it's like a throwaway society or some shit like that. And it's like, you know what? People don't understand that society should be able to be thrown away. If we make it up, so why the fuck can't we throw it away? We made it up. We made it the fuck up. We made it up. So why can't we throw it away whenever we want to and make something new? Or make something new, or make some new place, or new thing, or new idea, or new anything. It's new, it's free, it's good. But also in the same sense, remain positive and realize that if you go up against some sort of government, you're not going to be able to get a satellite connection unless you have a satellite phone and an actual satellite that you're actually pinging off of, or some sort of thing. Realize that you're not going to get anything to be able to do things with. Realize that you're not going to get backing or anything like that. But also realize that eventually, if you work hard enough, if you work well enough, and if you do something, you too can be like Elon Musk. But also too, in the same sense, you don't have to be such a arrogant guy about something. Just remember that don't be arrogant. Be humble sometimes, because it's like people don't look at your wealth constantly every day, because they don't want to be reminded sometimes that they have less. So realize that too, people get their media from some places because they get their local access channel, but from media from some places because they feel as though it speaks to them. And in some ways it can. But understandably so, if they just fixate on that one thing, and I'm gonna go rob the ammunition on this game. Because yes, it's very funny to do that sometimes. Understanding where you come from as far as God.
Yeah, I like it.
Now I'm telling you, if you
I didn't go in there.
welcome
God
to
damn
my
it.
shop, honey.
Alright, welcome to your shop. Give a shit about your shop. I'm gonna go outside, take my gun out, and I'm gonna shoot the traffic.
Dispatch to all available units. We have a 211 silent on an armored truck. Respond code 3.
Alright, let's go. It's $116. That was good. Let's see how long this lasts. So understanding where your life comes from, where your things come from, where you come from as a person. Realize that no, Bo, I'm not gonna throw that rope for you right now because I'm actually running from the cops on this game. But realize that that's like people can say what they want to say about yeah, I'm doing stupid shit and I'm saying stupid shit. People can say what they want to say about certain media and certain stuff. It's like, I mean, this game doesn't stop me or start me from doing any sort of thoughts or any sort of things or any sort of stuff like that. What it makes me do is it makes me realize that there are subtle nuances to life, and there are subtle nuances to things that I don't understand. Like there are even amazing stuff. Like sometimes I don't even focus on the guns. I focus on the cool cars, or the way that there's something able to be something like I don't know. I'm gonna go in a bar. Let's see if we can go to a bar and rob it. Let's go to a bar and rob it.
Suspect northbound in white sports utility vehicle.
Because yes, that's what I do sometimes. I'm American. I'm stupid. And what's the word? Oh, I'm quote violent by other countries. So but understandably so, I'm not actually that violent or anything like that. I'm just running around doing stupid shit on multiplayer games because they're fun, or not multiplayer games because they're just stupid nonsense. It's just stupid nonsense to be able to do something when you're. I want to be able to. Oh, that's where I should go. I'm gonna go be up. Do all this. Celebration.
Oops, sorry.
Alright, let's see. I spent like all the money. Can't believe I spent all the money on like nothing but weapons and nothing but stuff like that.
I know a super chill place.
So terrible. How much is this? It's only $80,000? That's cool. Let me go see something. Yes.
Come on, last night was off the hook.
Get out the fucking way.
Better than this. Better than this. Calm storm of the mind. There we go. I actually just had to stop the tension in my shoulders because I'm actually holding the controller and trying to like manipulate it in certain ways, so. But really, I don't know. It's not about the president either. Because in the same sense, realizing that we had hard leadership since the beginning of time is the reason why sometimes we have to realize that they're not going to stop being subpar. We are the reasons why this country even exists. For the people, by the people. So we have to start acting like we are people. And that's the reason sometimes why people who try to control the government or who try to control us try to say that the government isn't the way that it's supposed to be. I'm not saying that there's, oh my god, there's a shift in money and stuff and oh my god. But I'm saying that they don't know that it's like every dollar is on loan for another dollar now. It's on loan for another dollar every single second of the day, and we are the only reasons why our government is still afloat, is because of the way that we run our businesses and the way that we do the stuff that we do, or the way that I decide that I'm going to make my own business or make my own stuff. And this is the reason why emotionally it can get to you. Emotionally, you can say that whatever is affecting you isn't affecting you enough for you to be able to stop doing what you're doing. But in the same sense, you should acknowledge it and be able to understand that that thing affected you, and that you should let something affect you less, and be able to control your emotions to be able to not be affected by so many things. And you can say that you're older or that you're more mature or something like that. It's like, but you're just being able to control your emotions as far as reactionary expressions go. You can say whatever they want to say. You can say however they want to say it. It's like, oh, older than me or blah 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 blah. Just walk away from the situation. Don't feed into them. Don't do anything stupid. Don't act like they know anything. And if they or something like that, and if you just so happen to have a weapon, hopefully you're faster. But understandably so, you probably should have walked away a long time ago. Realize that you are the master of your own thing. You are the master of your own literal future and everything. And the more you push towards risks and involvement with stupid people who you think are going to hurt you, realize that eventually you'll get hurt and you'll have no excuse. Realize that also too, if those are the only people that you can actually involve yourself with, then change your friends. Change anything. Change anything about yourself. Even if you're not in the same country as me. Realize that you can go somewhere else and do something else. And someone will always be there. Someone else will always be there. Always. For you and for your ability to be able to make it in this world. But understand too that you have to be accountable for your own actions. You have to be accountable for yourself and be able to make sure that you can do the things you really want to. And only you are able to make the changes in your life to be able to see through media scams, fake news, fake anything. But also too, in the same sense, don't listen to trash talk. Just don't even listen to the president anymore. Don't even listen to him. Just go to your senator and write and say, I want something to change and I want something to change now. It doesn't have to be with the president because I am more powerful than the president could ever be. Ever in this entire lifetime. So remember that. And go out and vote. Go out and do something. Go out and say something. And for every amount of things that you say, for every amount of things that you do that is good and positive for someone else, the amounts of free speech and everything will flourish in your country or in your place of anything. I know that it doesn't sound like inspiration or anything like that, but it sounds like moderate growth. And moderate growth is better than complete and absolute collapse. You have to realize and communicate with each other and communicate with everyone to be able to realize where everyone is actually standing. Because you can actually make certain reactionary things or reactionary opinions or reactionary actions that could cause very, very stupid and very dumb and very idiotic for anyone that ever does them. Because there will always be a person that's bigger and stronger. And if you think you're smarter and you're not, if you're betting that you're smarter and you can't be, then you need to go back to the drawing board and pick yourself up and keep going. Because that's what economy is based off of. It's what everything is based off of. It's what our society is trying to be based off of. And I really, really wish that everyone else would make an effort to be able to make something for themselves and stop doing stupid shit like taking care of people or some stupid shit. Because seriously, every intelligence job is done with. They're doing training missions because overhead because they will eventually take people out once they find out who the fuck they are. It's very true, and it's extremely, extremely serious. And Louisiana's in a fucking tizzy. But the most you need to worry about, and the most anyone else needs to worry about, is that's the way the U.S. takes care of itself. That's the way that the U.S. actually makes a better tomorrow for everyone. By making sure that no one is trying to push a certain agenda for themselves to be put over the U.S. government, or over anyone else for that matter. So I'm gonna go blow something up.
Vamos the car, amigo.
Gotta get out of here. Gotta. Only tear gas. Alright, never mind. Let's just go jump a ramp and then fucking go crazy and shit like that. And fucking tight. Alright. Go, 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 go. Nah. Alright, I gotta put my seatbelt on. I gotta wait and sit for like 10 seconds to put my seatbelt. Son of a bitch. I wait like 5 seconds to put my seatbelt on, so I gotta look and see what I'm doing. Come on. I don't give a shit. Oh shit, so we did this. I need this car now because this one has a door, and I think that if it has a door, then I can put my seatbelt on. Put the seatbelt on.
Ah, shit.
Citizens reporting a 503 on,
Alright, we're gonna jump. I'm gonna do something tight.
Fuck you. Well, you don't see, driver.
We're gonna use this car because we accidentally ran into that car. And that front end is just destroyed. It's huge. I'm very particular about my sheesh. My sheesh. Alright, bro, get down from the couch if you're gonna scratch the shit out of yourself. Alright, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. And son of a bitch. Alright.
I see some bad drivers, but you.
Yes, here we go. Thank you, Bo. Going on your pillow. Yes. And we're gonna jump out. Yes. Didn't really know what was gonna happen, but it turned out pretty awesome. And we're gonna start getting your media from everywhere. Start getting your media from everywhere you can. And if you can't get media, then don't pay attention to it until it comes to you. But realize that if you don't pay attention to it until it comes to you, then you won't be ready for it and everything that it has. No matter if it's good, bad, negative, positive, anywhere in between. Be prepared and be ready. And be good and be positive. And don't think that everything is a goddamn fight. But also think everything could be. But don't think it's a possibility, not an eventual probability. There you go. It's just a possibility. It's not an eventual probability. So because it's not going to happen eventually. It doesn't need to happen eventually. It just could happen, you know. But understandably so. Thank you so much for listening, if you ever do. And I don't give a shit if you subscribe. It doesn't matter to me. But you can message me if you want to on my board, because I just want to create a discussion. Thank you for listening, and this has been Game Therapy with Joe Bomb Squad, and you are your own one-man bomb squad as well, just like me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Sorry.